Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. The Amazing World of Gumball hasn't aired a new episode in almost 5 years. In a little bit over a month from now, on June 24th of this year, being 2024, it will officially mark the 5-year anniversary since the Inquisition, the Gumball series finale, aired on Cartoon Network. Obviously, Gumball's had a bit of a muddied past few years, given that it was supposed to have a Cartoon Network original movie to wrap up the entire series, but that show was a part of the cancellations that came after the Warner Brothers Discovery merger, and it was stated that it was being shopped around to other streaming services, but its fate was never revealed to us. There was also the announcement of the Amazing World of Gumball, the series, the sequel series that was going to take place after the events of the movie, and that's another thing that's been left up in the air over the past few years. So what exactly is happening with the Amazing World of Gumball? So earlier this year, I believe in around January or February, the Amazing World of Gumball, the movie, was registered in a registry by Cartoon Network, saying that it was supposed to come out in 2024. So that could serve as potential confirmation that the movie is still coming this year. But at the same time, even though it's in that registry, I kind of question, does that necessarily mean it's actually still happening? Because there's been cases before with other series, with other shows, where Cartoon Network has had a release date or a release window for them, or even Warner Brothers Discovery as a whole, and then they just scrap it last minute and use it as a tax write-off. So I'm not going to use that as confirmation, although in my mind it does give credence to that this movie probably is still coming. The only thing that we have kind of confirmed, but not from Cartoon Network, but just from reading the tea leaves and whatnot, is that the Amazing World of Gumball Season 7 is in production. It had a sneak peek in the fall at a festival, I believe it was the Annecy Festival, and again, it's just such a confusing situation, because really right now what we're having with Gumball, we have a show that hasn't aired a new episode in 5 years, which I'm going to get into how ridiculous that is a little bit later, but we have a show that hasn't aired an episode in 5 years. A movie was announced for to end the series, to wrap it up and lead into a sequel series in the world of Gumball, and neither of those things have happened yet. And then now on top of that, to add to the confusion, last year things were popping up all over the internet that season 7 is in development over at Hanna-Barbera Studios Europe. So it's like, what exactly is going on with Gumball? What exactly is happening? If I had to guess right now what's happening, I think there's one of two paths we're going down right now. The first path is that things are happening as they were planned before. The Amazing World of Gumball movie is in development. It's coming out this year according to that registry, and we're going to get the Amazing World of Gumball, this series, coming probably at some point later this year or early next year. The production code for all of these is the Amazing World of Gumball Season 7, hence the reason why the Season 7 rumors are out there. That is a possibility. That is one path we could possibly go down, and everything's happening as it was planned, just a little bit later than it was planned because of the whole Warner Brothers Discovery merger and the meddling from the executives over at this company. The second path we could be going down is that the movie has indeed been canceled. The movie has been canceled, and it's either being adapted into the Amazing World of Gumball Season 7 or is being adapted into whatever this new sequel series is going to be. This path could have two separate paths come out from it. If it is canceled and they're just going to continue the Amazing World of Gumball in a 7th season, that could potentially mean that this sequel series has also been canceled. Or it could mean they're going to have Season 7 be the wrap up for the Amazing World of Gumball. Kind of think of like Season 8 of regular show, how it had kind of a longer form story that was forming throughout the season. Something akin to that, something similar to that, maybe the Gumball movies being adapted into this Season 7, and that will then lead into this sequel series, or heck, maybe even this sequel series ends up being the Amazing World of Gumball Season 8. We really don't know what they're doing, and I just put this all on Cartoon Network because, like, yeah, I understand that, you know, the people over at Cartoon Network, Michael Olin and all the other executives, they kind of have their hands tied behind their back because they only have as much power as they have given to them, right? David Zaslav and the other executives at Warner Brothers Discovery obviously dictate what Cartoon Network does at the end of the day. If they don't give them the money to make the Gumball movie, they don't give them the money to make the Gumball movie, so they don't have the money to make the Gumball movie. So I understand that their hands are tied behind their back, but how hard would it be? And again, this might be Warner Brothers Discovery is just like, you're not allowed to talk about this thing for legal reasons. We just need to keep it as a tax write-off. But how hard would it be for you to come out there and say, hey, the Amazing World of Gumball movie's been canceled, or hey, we're making a 7th season of the Amazing World of Gumball coming this year or coming next year in 2025? Because what's happened now is for the past 5 years this June, the Amazing World of Gumball has not aired a single new episode on Cartoon Network. Yes, I know they had Darwin's Yearbook. Yes, I know they had the Gumball Chronicles, but the latter of which aired in 2020 and 2021. And those were just clip shows, so it's not new content. It's like, clearly something is going on with this show. Clearly you guys are working on something, hence the reason why it's still on the air. If this show was canceled, they would not be airing reruns reruns anymore of it. Trust me on that one, because every time a show ends on Cartoon Network, they pull the plug on it immediately and stop airing reruns. So clearly something is happening with this series. But what you're doing right now, the way you've been handling this situation, is such a disservice to the fans of this show. Someone like me has been watching The Amazing World of Gumball since day one when it premiered on May 3rd of 2011. I've been watching the series ever since. There was a period of time where I didn't watch the show, but nevertheless, I've been there since day one. I've watched every single episode of this series. I've seen all of them. I've watched a handful of reruns from time to time, because that's pretty much all you guys aired on the channel for a good amount of time. And I'm here waiting to see how does the story of The Amazing World of Gumball end? What happens after the Inquisition? And I've been waiting for 5 years. Everybody has been waiting for 5 years, and you've said nothing about what's happening since you announced this movie back in, I believe, 2022. So basically, for the past 3 years, we don't know what's happening with the movie. Is it still happening? Is it not happening? Ben Bokelet, the creator on Twitter, who I probably mispronounced your name, sorry, he had said that the movie was a Schrodinger's cat situation. It's both dead and alive at the same time, meaning it's happening until it's not happening. And then he never spoke on it again, most likely because he can't due to NDAs, due to non-disclosure agreements. This is just such a horrible way for Cartoon Network to handle one of their premiere series from the 2010s, and it's honestly one of the faces of Cartoon Network alongside Teen Titans Go right now. How could you treat the show this way? How could you treat the fan base of the series this way? Imagine if season 7 comes at the end of this year. That is going to be insane, because this show was never canceled, technically speaking. It's going to probably be one of the longest hiatus periods of all time between 2 seasons of a show, given that it's been 5 years, if not 6 years by the time season 7 comes out. Who knows when that's happening? It's just mind-boggling to me to think about it. It's like essentially The Amazing World of Gumball was canceled in 2019, and we're getting a revival series now in 2024 or 2025, even though that's technically what's not happening. But that's, to me, what it feels like. It feels like this show was silently canceled, and they're bringing it back this year or next year to revive the series, even though technically speaking it was never dead to begin with, because there was always going to be that movie, aka like the big picture show for Ed and Eddie, that kind of ends off the series and sends it off into the sunset. But that might not be happening anymore, and we might just get a season 7 instead, or we might just be getting the Amazing World of Gumball sequel series that's aptly titled The Amazing World of Gumball the series, coming sometime this year or next year. But we don't know, and I really just want Cartoon Network, someone there needs to just put it out there what's happening with this show. This is not the way you gain fans, this is the way you lose fans. If anything, you've hurt the brand of Gumball the way you've treated it over the past 5 years, as opposed to enhancing it, because this is one of your premier properties. This is one of the premier brands that your channel has right now, and it's been missing for 5 years, and no one knows what's happening with it. So great job, Cartoon Network. You're treating this series with the respect that it deserves. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. Do you guys think we're still getting the movie? Do you think the movie's been canceled? Do you think we're going to just get a continuation of The Amazing World of Gumball in a season 7, 8, and 9 maybe? Or do you think Gumball's been canceled entirely and we're just going to go straight into a sequel series? Let me know in the comment section below what you think about all this. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.